So today's broadcast may be a longer one because this series may not be that long, which means we may have to jump up into the upper echelons of the brackets, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot of games played today. A lot of games played, and it's all because of that bin shit TVT, mate. Oh my god, shaking my head. But enough about that, because here we go. We have our series before us, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have our Peruvian Zerg player himself. He is the CranKy Duckling, El Condor. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the god of mischief himself, representing Infernales Esports. It's the Chilean Zerg. It is Loki. Massive shout out to Loki. He is one of the ex-Rebirth boys. I don't know if that means anything to anyone in the chat, but if you know all about Rebirth and how Rebirth were a massive organization in the Chilean scene, not just in StarCraft, but in other esports as well. They ran some big tournaments last year, and they ended up hosting, or they ended up having their own esports team that was very Chilean centric. In the end, though, they did end up disbanding, which is a bit of a feels bad, man, and all those Chilean players did kind of go off in their own directions. Some of them ended up on Infernales, some of them ended up on Exeritus, some of them ended up on the CranKy Ducklings, like Neo. And some of them just ended up, just stepping away from the game. So yeah, they all just kind of, they were kind of spread out, cast off into the wind, to land where they will. And we'll see how Loki looks at the moment compared to Ryu, because Loki isn't the most active of players, but he's still very talented. I believe Loki, he's one of the players who is focusing on his studies for the most part, and in his off time he is competing in StarCraft events, but he's up against someone who has been a full-time player before. He's up against a DreamHack caliber player. Anyone going up against Ryu is going to be the underdog. I'm willing to say that, unless you're Pocket Mike. If you're Pocket Mike, you're the favorite. But if you're not Pocket, Pocket Mike's not in the tournament. He's not here. Ryu doesn't have to worry about him. He's fine. Don't worry about it. So we'll see. We'll see what Loki has in store for us. What I'm a little bit surprised by is that we do not see an early pull from Loki. So he does go for a hatch gas pool opening. He's saying, yo, Ryu, I know how good you are. I know you're all about the dream hacks, and you're competing with all these other players, and you're on a pro team. I don't care. I'm gonna meet you head on. Crazy. And we'll see how he does, as Ryu already slips into the main base with his drone, confirms the gas count, confirms the lack of lair, confirming that there is no crazy 2-base shenanigans on the way. So a very nice scout here by Ryu. Also confirms the third. There we go, as he does reposition his Overlord, gets eyes on the third base, and recognizes, okay, you're not doing anything crazy. You are just being as standard as possible against me, and that's a good thing. A straight up honorable ZvZ for the time being. Everything changes once the third base is on the way. This is where players, they're getting their Bailey nests, and we can see who becomes the aggressor. From what I can tell, it is Loki. Loki does have a wave of links on the way. He's already morphing in 2 Bailings across the map. His goal here is to deny this deny this third base, not the gold. There is no gold, despite there being conveyor belts of gold. Shaking my head. This map makes no sense. God damn it. Oh god. But we do have a couple of defensive Bailings here for Ryu as well. We have 1 Bailing here for Ryu, which is a little bit crazy, not gonna lie. I would imagine we need a couple more. But Loki hasn't pulled the trigger. Oh my god, he's making another set of Bailings. Here we go. It's all about how good these connections are going to be. The Bailings are getting off the ramp. Oh, but Ryu notices just barely. Oh! Just in time. The Queen's focused down both Bailings. Ay. That's a bit of a feels bad, man. Not a good trade there by Loki. And Loki, he's got to make a choice. He either turns around or he just commits. In the end, he is droning up. So is Ryu. As Loki actually gets into the main base and just gets a scout off. He's like, okay, there's no fast lair. There's no fast gases in the main, at least. So knows that Ryu is going for something like Mutus. Oh my god! Loki. Some very nice snipes here. 2 banelings go off. A little bit of miscontrol by Ryu. He only has 1 baneling left. And that, like, Loki could smell blood in the water. With only a single baneling, Loki could potentially link flood his opponent. Here we go to, oh my god, again, more miscontrol. The banelings crash in, and 5 drones go down. That is the damage that Loki was looking for. Can he get more damage done? I kind of want him to keep going, and he will be able to focus down a couple more drones. 2 more, 3, up, he gets 3. 9 in total. Mate, that is not bad. Despite that, Loki is still behind in the drone count. That is the worrisome thing. But here we go, another baneling run by, baneling waddle by, this one gets intercepted. A little bit too ambitious there. At the same time, Ryu goes for a bit of a counterattack. He's going to clean up all these things, going to get on top of the queen, but there are not enough flings here to take out said queen. In the end, Loki does trade better, but it does feel like his macro is a little bit lacking. That is why, despite Ryu taking so many hits and so many losses this game, if we look, he's lost 9-0. He has just been trading more efficiently in a way. He has been making more drones. And as we can see, Loki has been throwing away a lot more links. So because of that, Ryu still has the drone advantage. He's getting a 4th base. Roaches are now on the way as well. Loki is looking to try and go for a bit of a run by, and maybe he can find a way into the natural. No, instead he goes for instead he goes for 3rd. He does have +1 carapace, so he survives the baneling hit, and he will get a queen. Not bad, but the wall is the wall. The banelings will not get into the natural. This hyper aggression from Loki is starting to hurt him. He is throwing away so many lings and so many banelings. Like, what is the next step for him? He needs to get into roaches, but he doesn't have any. He has 0 roaches on the map. Like, Ryu, all he's been doing and all he needs to do is defend, get a mass amount of roaches, counterattack, and that's it. We do see Loki desperately trying to keep Ryu back at home, desperately trying to keep up with this aggression. But as soon as Roach Speed finishes, there is no reason for Ryu to stay at home. He can just A-move, and what do we have at home to defend? We don't have any spines. We have 0 creep spread as well. Loki is droning up and he's taking a 4th base, but again, he just doesn't have a standing army. Even when it comes to upgrades, sure, he has +1 carapace, but he's only just now started +1 range. And Ryu's coming. He's coming to end the game. Oh god. I appreciate the aggression. I appreciate the harassment from Loki, but it just wasn't enough. It just never paid for itself. The roaches rock up. There's nothing here at home to defend. GG gets called. And just like that, Ryu takes game number 1. It's one of those things where Loki was killing a lot of drones, but he was just spending so much to kill those drones, and it just wasn't worth it in the end. And he was hurting his own economy and his own tech to make this happen. And when you're this aggressive, it was impressive that he got 9 drone kills, but you need more than that. You need a mineral line. You need to tear apart your opponent and snowball, and that just never happened. Oof. At a certain point, Ryu just had far too many roaches, and it was just like Loki was just smashing himself into a brick wall. Just over and over again, hoping that the wall would fall, and it just stood strong. Oh, GG. Oh boy. And with that, we've finished up our first game of the semis. Now we're getting ready for our second, and I do think that Loki has to reapproach this a little bit. You know, whether it's opening up a little bit more conservatively and, you know, not going Massling Bane like that and getting into roaches just like Ryu, you know, a more like macro-oriented outlook of the game, or just throw down an early pool, you know, just go all in. Why not? Pull the boys. We'll see. We'll see what he decides to go for. Let's go. You can hear the beeps. The countdown has begun. The lobby has been made, and we are going to be loading in to Pride of Altares. Hold on, I gotta add eggs. Gotta add eggs in the chat. Oh god. As we are getting into the swing of things. Hold on, where's the copy pasta? Where is it? Wait a moment, wait a moment. Mario's Junction. This is important. El Condor, mate, El Condor. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Why do we have so many things? There it is. Beautiful. Here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pride of Altares LE. We have the CranKy Duckling himself, the Peruvian Zerg player in the chat. Spam this blue for El Condor Ryu. And this is what we wanted, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pride of Altares LE. We have the Chilean Zerg player himself representing Infernales Esports, going for the 12 pull. It is Loki. Those wondering, no, not El Condor, El Condor. The Condor, mate. If you're wondering where that comes from, that is actually Ryu's name. That is his name. So that is where the copy pasta comes from, mate. That's where it comes from. Meanwhile, shaking my head. If you have an issue with our copy pastas, take it up with the head of marketing of CranKy Ducklings, Yaku. Yaku did make all of the copy pastas. Meanwhile, lings are coming across the map. Ryu does see the lings, by the way. And oh my god, the drones are being pulled as well. The boys, let's go. This is all spotted by the overlords. So again, Ryu is well aware. But here we go. The spines have already started. They're gonna be denied as well. We'll see if this is going to be enough. The rest of the boys are being pulled. Lings are on the way here for Ryu. He does have enough for a queen, but he still hasn't started it, surprisingly enough. He's still a little bit too focused with the drone micro. He gets a surround. Loki, no. Loki, not like this. Everything was so mistimed. GG. It was so mistimed. He came in with the 3 spines first, and then they all got surrounded and denied. And then the lings came in, and they got surrounded and denied. And then the drones came in. It's like, mate, you need it all to come. You need. You need it all to come at once. You know, you need everything together, but it all trickled in one after the other, and that made it so much easier for Ryu to deal with, for Ryu to shut down. It felt like a desperation move from Loki. I can't imagine Loki has much experience or much practice executing this build. It felt a little bit haphazard, but GG. GG, well played. Shaking my head. Meanwhile, hold on. I got an exclamation mark Funada Dastan in the chat. Fun fact, if you're a part of our Discord server, we actually have a copy pasta for every single one of our players. Not just our pro players, but also some of the other CranKy Ducklings representatives. Like, I have my own copy pasta. Yaku has his own copy pasta. Who else? I think Ares has 2. I think Kata has 1 as well, maybe. Yes. We have a lot of cheerfuls for our players that we spam whenever they compete and play in a tournament. Beautiful. I know Starduck is very upset with his. He's like, what? Why? It's like, look, Yakumate, what do you want from me? Yakumate, okay? If you have something better, give it to us. But yes, congratulations to Ryu. He does defend beautifully against Loki's cheese. Again, it wasn't the most well executed cheese, unfortunately. Bit of a feels bad, man. It's a little bit unfortunate that that's how that series ended, but the show must go on. And oh, we have oh my god, we have a series. It looks like Tavo and Cristiano are about to begin. A bit of a shout out to Eggs. We saw El Huevito there in the chat. Eggs has made it all the way to the semifinals. It's been a while since we've seen Eggs. I don't think he was here last week for Copa Hyperion or even the week before for Sentimiento Latino. So it's been a little bit since we've seen him, but it's great to see him return here to our weekly tournaments. As he was able to 2-0 Egg and he was able to 2-1 in Fanson. That was a series that I was a little bit worried about. But I was worried because, you know, I feel like Infanson could have taken that series, but I also don't know the form that Infanson is in, right? We haven't seen him be too active in the past couple of months, so he may not be in form the way that we expect him to be, and Eggs clearly is. He's able to take that series and move on to the semis, and he will wait for the winner of Tavo versus Cristiano. Again, Eggs, I feel like we can all agree, is probably the favorite out of all of them. Personally, I would love to see Eggs versus Tavo. Like, that's a juicy TVZ. But I worry because Cristiano can be a very cheesy player, and I've seen him cheese out Tavo before. I've seen Cristiano go proxy Tempest and kill Tavo on Blackburn. Like, it's so sad. It was heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking. Like, he's done it before. He could do it again. I hope he doesn't. Oh god. My heart isn't ready for this series.